Greetings, I am Tom Earl, and this is my year of balance. Want to thank you so much for joining us here today. I know you could be anywhere, so the fact that you have decided to tune in to the celebration means so much to me. As you know, we always like to get started by aligning our breath and our energy with our intentions. So here we go. On the count of 3, breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. There you go. One more time. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Well, I hope you enjoyed last week's beliefs episode. As you may know, if you tuned in last week, we're doing a special 2-part episode series on what do you believe. I sat down with 8 different people, 8 people who came to my house throughout a month, and I asked them the same series of questions around what do you believe in? What are your beliefs? And instead of cutting out a bunch of parts of what people said to squeeze it into one episode, as you know, I divided it into 2 episodes. So this right here is the second episode. It's part 2. If you haven't listened to part 1, I suggest you jump back to last week. It's tomroll.com/beliefs1 if you want to check that out. And I suggest listening to it first because everybody introduces themselves and jumps in. Here in a second, I'm going to get out of your way and we're going to jump back into part 2. If you'd like to listen to this either as a video or as the podcast, it can be found at tomroll.com/beliefs2. So without further ado, we're jumping back in where we left off.
Hello, my name is Netta and my favorite color is purple.
What's a new belief that you started to have?
That my past doesn't dictate what's going to happen in my future.
Awesome.
I do.
That's awesome. When did you start believing that?
After dinner with you tonight.
That's awesome. That's very recent.
My name is Rami El Etrabi, and my favorite color is green.
What's one of the most recent things you started to believe in?
That my body is truly a temple, and if I don't treat it well, it will break down. This is something I feel about getting older. I've told you before, I've been feeling very morbid, mortal. Not necessarily morbid, more like mortal. Like I feel like there I can see the light at the end of, or I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. Does that mean I'm going to die? I mean, I can see that there's a finiteness to existence, to this physical existence, and I should try to treat my body in a way that will be able to last.
Hello, my name is Iman Siraj Blanche. My favorite color is, I would probably say, purple or in green.
What's one of your most recent beliefs that you've begun to believe in?
I don't know. Can I curse on this? I don't know. Don't be alarmed that I'm cursing now, people. It's like it happens. My most recent belief is that every good man might have been some other person's fuckboy at some point in their lives, because it's like when I think about, some people, or at least dudes that I know, and they might have not been the best guys to someone that I know, but then they're in these new relationships and they're thriving and they're being really great people, and okay, well, it's honestly, it's that wasn't meant to be. But I understand this other person's anger towards you, and it might not ever go away. But, that's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all progress.
Yeah.
My name's Omar, and my favorite color is blue.
Ooh. What's something
That was
you've
tight.
recently started to believe in?
Myself.
What does that mean?
My power? Yeah. My control over how I react and respond to situations, and yeah.
How's that belief changed your life?
It's made me maybe like a less reactive, a less angry, a more peaceful person,
That's
more
awesome.
confident person too.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name is Adobe, and my favorite color, I actually have like 4. So do I have?
Go for it.
Oh. Black, pink, yellow, and white.
What's one of the most recent beliefs that you've begun to believe in?
That Jesus is coming. That the wars. Jesus is at LAX right now, y'all. He's about to get in the cab.
And do what?
He is coming. Like, I just feel like, I like to pray for world peace, but it's just, the more I read Skim and the more I see all the things going on internationally, domestically, it's just like, whoa, like something is going on. Like, there needs to be like some sort of like pause. Let's talk it out and let's work it out. And it just seems like those are the signs in Revelation, the 7 signs that, worlds will be fighting against each other, people will be killing and things like that. So, yeah.
How recent did you start to believe that?
I don't know. I can't put a quantitative, like, probably like a year or so.
Year?
Yeah.
Cool. So Jesus doesn't take Uber? Takes a cab?
He might take Uber. He takes a cab. He takes the
Lyft.
metro. He's coming though.
Hello, my name is Youssef Trishani, aka Dr. Yo-Yo, and my favorite color is turquoise.
Ah.
All right.
What is the most recent belief that you've begun to believe?
I'm not sure if it's a belief, but an issue that I've been thinking about or struggling with is about transgender people. Because it's something that I feel I'm actively grappling with, trying to understand the argument from people who are prejudiced against them, in terms of how do I internalize that all their rights, all their desires, all their beliefs are equal to everyone else, wanting to truly have it so deep that when vehement arguments come up that are reactionary, I can think about how do I defend my fellow human being, thinking of them as a human being too, and not being able to discount the arguments that this is a choice, this is a lot of the same type of things that are being said about people who are gay a decade or two ago, which unfortunately actually still to this day for some.
Yeah. So just make sure I understand, what is the belief then?
That, I'm trying to think of how to best articulate it, that not that transgender people are people, because that wasn't it. It's that they should be treated equally, like everyone else. And maybe it's something I've thought even more so now with Trump coming out saying that transgender people cannot serve in the military. I'm thinking of how I can become even a better ally. And I believe that they should be treated equally.
Maybe, tell me if I'm hearing correctly, maybe a belief that it's one of your values to advocate and support people who identify as trans, and a belief that you now want it to be a part of your activism and Rolodex of information to create dialogue on it. Am I hearing you correctly?
I think you are hearing me correctly. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Benita Isidento. My favorite color is yet to be determined.
What's the most recent thing you've started to believe in?
You can do anything that you put your mind to, that you really, anything you want to accomplish. I think, being older and seeing the direction my life has gone, I really do believe that if you really want something, you can get it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Rodney Charles, and my favorite color is yellow.
What's a recent belief that you've begun?
Oh, a recent belief. I think a recent belief is that I almost don't believe in patience, which is a different thing from not believing in allowing space. But I don't believe in patience in the way that it's being promoted to sort of nullify and suppress desire, energy, and ambition in individuals. And I mean it in the sense of, we live in a world, if we're dissatisfied with anything about it, we can change it.
Yeah.
We don't have to patiently wait and hope it changes. That's the context in which I mean it. I'm not very patient. I just believe in, this doesn't work for me in my life, within my sphere. I change it.
That's awesome. What's something you believe that you cannot prove?
My confidence. Because, you know, I could believe in myself all I want, but like, how do you know that? Right? How do you know if I'm putting on a show? How do you know if I've just gotten really skilled at putting on a facade? You know, I can't prove to you how I really see myself. It's kind of like when you're fasting during Ramadan. You can't. I mean, that's why fasting is so sacred. It's one of those things that people can't see. You can't really prove if you're fasting unless you're put in the situation, unless, like, you know, people see you're actually eating. But it's like, how do people know? You could just be not eating.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's something you believe that you cannot prove?
I guess God. Though I do feel like there's proof everywhere. But whether people want to take it as proof is another thing. But like, I could say God exists in all the trees and the flowers and the taste of the beautiful fruit. But some people are like, that's not God. That's just the earth, the nature of things. But where does one begin and one end, you know?
Why do you believe in something you can't prove?
Why do I believe? I think that's what faith is. Faith is believing in something you can't see. And sometimes you have to have faith to sort of like keep you going. Because sometimes things look bleak. And, you know, what's the point of moving on? You have to feel like there's eventually things will get better.
What's something you believe that you cannot prove?
Something I believe I can't prove. I don't know, I'm a pretty good debater, Tom. I asked my husband and my sisters, I will debate it till the end, and I know that I'm right, so.
Is that proof?
Huh?
Is debate proof?
If you are convincing enough, it can be.
That sounds like convincing, not proof.
But isn't that what a lot of things are? It's like, if you convince someone of something, that's proof enough. I mean, just think about the climate of the country right now. It's like, you know, there are people who, it doesn't matter, they can see something wrong happening on videotape, and they still be like, that's not my experience. I don't believe that.
But that's not us.
I'm saying, though. But that happens. And it can happen to the best of people. It's
Okay.
like,
So nothing? There's nothing you believe you cannot prove?
As of right now, no. There's nothing I believe I can't prove.
I like
Yeah.
it. What's something you believe that you cannot prove?
I don't know. I guess that would be like God, right? Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's not, God is not something you can prove, but it's something that you can prove or just be, that for me is confirmed through, you know, just loving and those moments of like overwhelming, you know, compassion or forgiveness. You know, it's always those things that, you know, liberate you or free you, and that's just really what love is. And that for me is, when I feel that, whatever it is, however it is I feel it, that for me is a confirmation of that God exists.
That's awesome.
Oh, great.
What is something you believe in that you cannot prove?
Everything I just said. Yeah.
What is something you believe that you cannot prove?
I believe that we have a soul, and that we will have, that there is something after this life.
Why do you believe it, even though you can't prove it?
If I can encapsulate the argument, what would it be, or the case for it? There is something inherent in us that calls us to seek a higher power, or to seek a higher understanding of the world. And I think it's symbiotic, that it was created in us because it exists, but also we seek it out because there must be something. We're not just animals that just live for the moment, seek our next meal, seek our next sexual intercourse, seek the next place to use the bathroom. We're constantly thinking about what is our purpose as individuals, as families, as communities in this world. And I think that for me, yeah.
That's awesome. What is something you believe in that you cannot prove?
God.
God?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
What's something you believe in that you can't prove?
That Jesus was black.
That's awesome. What's something you believe that you can prove?
Taxes.
What do you mean?
Who was the dude that said the only things guaranteed in life are death and taxes?
Was that, white guy.
White guy who probably stole a quote from his wife, like all of them.
What's something you believe that you can prove?
I don't know. That 2 + 2 = 4. It's a hard one. Something I believe that I can prove. I believe that a hug and an I'm sorry will always make people feel better.
Why'd you say I'm sorry?
Like if someone falls down or if just someone loses a parent, you hug them and you tell them you're sorry. And that's enough. It makes people feel better. It doesn't solve their problems, but it makes them feel better.
What's something you believe that you can prove?
I can prove that I don't know. Ask me something. I don't know. I can prove that I love my family. I can prove that with my family we're so you could probably debate that. You don't love me. I can prove that, you know, that the promise of Allah is true. I can prove that.
What's the promise?
That this world isn't the end, you know. I mean, but that's also if you believe what the Quran says. So.
But it's your beliefs we're talking about.
Exactly. So I believe that. So that's proof positive for me. And then, just the nature of, life and death and the parables that he places in the earth with plants and animals and everything, just within nature.
What do you mean by the parables?
Like the way that a plant can seem dead, and sometimes all it needs is water, and it comes back vibrant. I do have a fern in my driveway, and I thought it was dead. I thought, okay, well, it's probably waterlogged. It's never coming back, and and then I accidentally left it outside when we had like a frost, and it looked dead. And then the summer came, and it's like back vibrant, and the leaves were huge. I was like, I was wrong. It wasn't dead.
And what's that a parable for?
For the hereafter, it's like our bodies, they may wither and decompose, but that's not just the life. There's a life after this, and we'll be renewed and put back. And on the last day, we'll be better than before.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's something you do believe in that you can prove?
What is something that I do believe in that I can prove? I don't know. That's kind of a funny question.
How come that one's weirder than the one where you can't prove it?
I don't know. That's a good question. What do you think?
I don't know. I think because we're usually asked the other one.
Ah, that's right.
So
that's true.
It's a little different to think about.
Yeah, that one just I'm kind of hit a wall with that one. I don't know. What do I believe in that I can prove? I mean, I guess again, I can prove, my belief in that we're in this together. I mean, just transcending, I guess, just this individual kind of thinking, and really getting out of. I think it also has a lot to do with me kind of removing myself from just narratives, right? That I've developed, or that I've been placed on me. And something that I believe in is just our interconnectedness, and things that all make us part of this collective experience. And I do that. For me, those are friendships. Those are something I've learned from you, is just finding things to connect with people on. And that's very provable, that when you do work to connect with people and work to be your true self, and share that with others, that then there's just that magic that happens, and that's what life is all about. For me. Yeah. So I don't know, those were questions that were a little difficult, but I don't know, I think that's just what came up. Yeah.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah, there you go.
And what do you believe in that you can prove?
That Jesus is love. God is love. Sometimes it could be the little things that you do, whether it's smiling at the cashier, or providing something to the homeless, or the way you do your work every day. If you have a good work ethic, that's a form of Jesus in physical form. So I think, just
cool.
The way you do your daily life, and if you're kind to others, that's another example. But
so you're living it. The way you live it is the proof.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you?
3 or 4 now?
This is the last 2 that I've asked everybody. These are all the same questions I've asked everybody. My apologies. What is?
I'll probably take another slice. I'm gonna have dessert afterwards.
Okay.
So that'll be good.
What is something you believe that you can prove?
Yeah, so many. This is hard for a mathematician because I think of so many different cases of like math things or things that are real. But then I get like philosophical. I think, well, nothing can be proven without certainty. So something I believe that I can prove.
There's no wrong or right way to answer it.
Yeah, sure. I feel like I'm thinking too much about it. I believe that my parents love me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What would you like to invite people to believe in?
I invite people to believe that they have a profound impact on the people around them and the world around them. Both, and they can choose to allow it to go good or bad, because both are possible. Just giving a smile to a person on the street, that's infectious. To reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while who'd done something good for you. On the other hand, honking at someone, steering the car into it. I know road rage we've talked about before. That can set a cascade of negativity that can spread contagion. Unfortunately, we know through political processes and political analysis that which gets people behind things the most is going to be fear. And that's a really negative force. And I think it's up to us to be able to use as much as possible powerful, positive forces in the world.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much, brother. What's something you believe in that you can prove?
That I can prove. Human beings would always disappoint. Yeah. That I can prove.
What's something you believe in that you can prove?
That I am the embodiment of my parents' dreams and ambitions, and I am going to fulfill those.
And what's something that you used to believe but no longer believe?
I no longer don't believe I used to but don't believe. I don't believe that everyone has good intentions. I believe that, I guess through Islamic terms, that there's a lot of jinn out there. You know, angels, or I guess demons, that are there to do the devil's work. I believe those people are in your life a lot. And I think they show up as your friends. And I think they show up as your family. And they could be your own parents. There may not be that the whole time. But there are times where people are literally there just to trip you up on your path to happiness. And unfortunately, that could be your own parents. You just have to recognize that that's like the devil's work.
What's something you used to believe but no longer believe in?
Well, okay, so one thing I used to believe, well, no, I don't know. Do I still believe that? No, I don't believe that anymore. I used to believe, like, all men were just, like, incredibly weak on all levels, you know, and that just, you know, any man could, it's just like you can't trust them with everything that's within yourself. It's like you can trust that. And I don't believe that anymore. It's like, because, you know, we're all human. We all have weaknesses. You know, everyone can make mistakes. But I just believe that's like just in general, just men. It's like, well, women, it's like we can be messy. But it's like men are weak on a state that's just, you know, just so.
What changed or what happened that you no longer believe that?
Just that like just to not just see them as like separate like people, like we're all human beings, and just not like be angry just at men just for no reason. Yeah.
It's awesome. What's something you no longer believe in that you once did?
I no longer believe in differences. You know, I think I don't know. I think before I probably believed a lot in me being separate from others, or me having to be something that was exceptional or, you know, different. I think just the older I get, the more I realize how similar we all are, and how connected we all are, and how really it's not about just you, it's really about, you know, everyone and everything. Yeah.
I love that.
Cool.
What's something that you no longer believe in that you once did?
Oh, this is an easy one, actually. So the whole mortal versus venial sin. So apparently, when you're Catholic, there are different categories in sin. So like a white lie would be kind of a passive sin, and then killing or stealing is like a venial, like it's more like it's weighted heavier. Yeah. Now I'm just like, no, a sin is a sin. Like you lie is the same, it carries the same weight as killing. So yeah.
What's something you used to believe but no longer believe in?
Good question. Might have to get back to that one. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe I just can't think of one, but I think that some of the things that I've believed, whether it's saying it out loud or not, I think I still kind of hold some of those beliefs. They might have modified a little bit, but I think I still kind of hold the same beliefs, that at least for as much as I can remember.
Yeah.
What about Santa?
I was gonna say that.
That was your thing.
Is that a real question? No, I think I was born in Nigeria, so I don't think I've ever really believed the Santa Claus was real to start with. Right, but you always, I mean, I've always known that it was someone putting on a costume. No, I didn't have someone, you know, leaving a present and telling me Santa left this. So I think I've pretty been realistic on that Santa was a homeless guy being paid to put on a costume.
What would you like to invite people to believe?
That George Zimmerman is a guilty motherfucker.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Anything else?
Let's see. That I'd invite people to, I mean, I'd say that to believe that, you know, that like that being black in America is hard, man. But that's not a belief, that's a fact. You know? Like, that's what the difference in belief and fact. There's numbers to back it up, but nobody wants to believe them.
What's something you want to invite people to believe in?
Just the power of love and kindness. That we're all on the same team.
Which team is that?
God's team. Oh.
We're okay.
Oh no. that we have a short life and that we really should try to live it in as much harmony and joy and possibility as possible. And sometimes I think we get too caught up in what divides us, and we all have more similarities than we have differences.
What's something you'd like to invite people to believe in?
I think more people should probably believe in themselves. I think we all say that we do, but, not always. Yeah.
What does that look like?
Just self-care. Yeah. And self-love.
And so self-care and self-love?
Yeah.
You mean believing in yourself?
I think so, because I think that starts with that. Like when you start caring about yourself, then you start believing yourself more. It's just kind of just a slow build of, building your confidence in yourself, because then you know that you're worth it. Yeah.
It's awesome. So to sign off, what do you want to invite people to consider believing in?
Consider believing in others. Believe in yourself, but give other people a chance.
Yay! Thanks, brother.
You got it.
What's something you'd like to invite people to believe in?
Just happiness and love. Sometimes I just, sometimes I get really angry at the world. I just feel like everyone's so narcissistic and stuck in their own ways and kind of selfish. I'm just like, you guys, sometimes you just need to step out and realize it's not always about you. Just when I get on Instagram, again, everyone's just trying to prove something. And I'm like, it's not, this is just temporary, guys. We're not going to take all these things with us when we pass away. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't even know if I answered your question.
You did.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Okay.
What would you like to invite people to believe in?
Be loyal and respect. Yeah. And even for marriages and things, like I think those two things, for me, people always ask me, oh, what are you looking for in someone? And I always say loyalty, respect, and good teeth. The good teeth is just my only physical requirement. Well, maybe not the only, but in terms of priorities, those are it. But really, the loyalty and respect, for me, it means a lot. And I think in those words, I think they're a little more tangible than things like love, right? Those are things that you can see. For me, I think love is just maybe just too broad. So, yeah, those things I think, you can believe in.
That's awesome. And lastly, what would you like to invite people to believe in?
I would invite people to believe in themselves and understand that they are, in fact, connected to everybody and everything else. So by definition, believe in yourself and everybody else that you're connected to. And you get to shape that because it's you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Cool. We got it. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It was such a wonderful journey for me to ask these questions and see what happened as people answered and the insights that came up. I really enjoyed this kind of a process of asking different people the same kind of questions. So I know next year in 2018, you're going to see another one of these from me. I already even have the topic. So looking forward to putting that out. I'd love to know, what did you think of this episode? What did you think of this belief series? It was truly a pleasure of mine, truly a joy to share it with you. And I'd love to hear what you thought. So please comment below, share below, message me on any of my social media at Tom Earl Artist, or email me, tom@tomearl.com. And if you could, share this episode with a friend. Let them know what you thought of it. I really think that this episode can really have an impact on people, as we don't always get a chance to reflect upon our beliefs. So my friends, once again, I want to thank you for joining us here on these last two episodes. As always, I'm wishing you peace, and blessings. Thank you.